All right, so we get started. Okay. Good morning, good noon, good evening, wherever time and place you listen to us from, straight from the 909. It's Jus Allah, myself, Nesquick, and together, that's hip hop. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Today, we're fellowshipping with the legendary God MC, the man who truly goes by no name, Jus Allah, the meanest man alive, best known for his work with the legendary group Jedi Mind. His commanding presence, complex wordplay, and dark and vivid lyricism helped shape the group's sound during its most iconic phases. Just's first major impact to the hip hop landscape was with Jedi Mind critically acclaimed 2000 album Violent by Design. His deep, menacing delivery contrasted perfectly with Vinnie Paz's raw, unrelenting, fiery style, created a unique dynamic, and elevated the group's music to cult status among hardcore hip hop fans. But Jus Allah's contributions to hip hop even transcend his own discography. He represents a defiant commitment to artistry in its purest form. His unapologetic approach to controversial and evocative themes has influenced countless MCs in the underground scene, only solidifying his place even further as a pioneer of lyrical depth and unfiltered storytelling. While his tenure with Jedi Mind was marked by ups and downs, his influence remains a cornerstone of the group's legacy, and his artistry continues to resonate with fans who value authenticity and substance in hip hop. The Megatron ominous lyrical messiah himself, Jus Allah. Welcome to the show, brother.
Wow, thank you so much, brother Nesquick. And that was a great introduction, brother. Probably the best introduction I've ever heard. Thank you. I appreciate
Well,
that.
hey, it's all well earned. I'll tell you that, man. It's an honor to be speaking with you, and I'm thankful for your time, man. And I have so much questions to ask you. As you know, I've told you, you've been a big inspiration of mine personally, in my, falling in love with hip hop and having a passion for it. So I want to start off with a couple of questions. Many, including myself, revere you as like the soul of Jedi Mind Tricks because of your impact on Violent by Design. But how did you end up on this? Because you weren't on the previous albums, right?
Right, right. Well, technically, so me and Vin, we recorded our first demos together. This is me at 15. I think Vin, this is me at 15 or 14. This has been at 15. And Stoop is in the mix. We were called, oh shit.
Not
I
so
forget.
before that.
Soulcraft. Was it Soulcraft? I forget the name of the group. It was me, Vin, and Stoop. This is us in our teenage years. It was their first demo, and it was mine. So they were already in the works. I was a new addition, but like I didn't have any of the equipment. They had the blueprint all down. They was ready to go and record. Boom, like just from a chance meeting of a friend of mine, we end up I end up being on that first project. And so so I'm on the first project, and it's kind of just demo stages. It never really went anywhere as far as I know. Behind the scenes, Vin and Stoop, they're pushing stuff. You know what I mean? They're learning the ins and outs of the behind the scenes. They're going to meet people. I'm just rapping, you know what I'm saying? Like in this little area of Philly, Jersey that I'm from. So, I'm in school. I live maybe in 2 hours away from them. It's even hard as a kid getting back and forth to the studio to them. We see each other maybe once every 2-3 months in this stage. Okay. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I'm just writing, and they'd have different projects. That first there was the demo, which is, I think if you buy the Psychosocial, technically their first album, they put demo songs from that I'm on that album. So that's all attached as bonus content to that album.
Okay.
And then, so we always kept in contact because, I'm trying to rap myself. I I am just like, I would never travel for it. You know what I'm saying? As far as what I would say Vin would do, I wasn't an aggressively or outwardly aggressively pursuing it. I thought, hey, I'm just going to get recognized for being a dope rapper, which is kind of what happened, but it's within the Jedi mind tricks things. You know what I'm saying? So there was maybe like there was we recorded a demo project. There were maybe like 4 or 5 verses I gave to them in between this and Violent by Design. So this is like a 4 or 5 year period, but we're it's like a year here. Hey, what's up? Let's record a track. So that kind of went on, and then I go away to school, and then they got this. I hear about the psychosocial. You know what I mean? I think I see it like in a record store, the local footwork record store we had, and I'm like, oh, you still doing this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh shit, they have a physical product of vinyl out. And I was like, oh wow, you know what I mean? Amazed by it. And then, like me and Vin, we kind of linked up at this same footwork store. I go to college, we lose contact. But not really lose. We didn't like stop talking. We just lost contact.
Right.
I bump into Vin at this hip hop store in Philly. I just kind of look. It's new too. I just kind of look it up online. I don't know how I found it, but I was always, I'm an underground hip hop dude. I'm always, listening to college radio and just checking for underground shit. So I just floated in the store. Vin's in there. They're like, hey, what up? You know what I mean? Like, I see you got the record out. I'm like, oh, wow, you're really about to do this. So we hang out, like literally like maybe like within the next 2 weeks or something. And then it's like, yo, you're recording Violent by Design with us. And that's how it right from there,
Yeah, that's crazy. So it is true then that you guys did have it, because I was trying to look for it online and I couldn't find an early track with you. There was articles about it being called Skinny Paz versus Vinny Paz. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was what's going on online at least. But it sounds like it was some tracks that you guys did do then before. Okay, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So was it okay? So you were going to college and everything. But then once you saw that they put out an album, that started to change your direction as far as where you were going to put your focus in, or did you still do school and you were writing and trying to create this album too?
No. I hated school, man. You know what I mean? I'm not, I was all so here's how it worked for me. I'm gonna be real. I went to from 8th grade till I graduated. I went to like an all-white school. So it was like I really didn't mesh with anybody like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I had maybe 2 friends that I don't even talk to now, this entire time in high school. So I was like always not really in the school, but the fact that I'm so isolated, I got good grades. You know what I'm saying? I think I was like on the honor roll. Probably like my whole time in high school. You know what I'm saying? But not really paying attention to it because it's like I don't even care for this stuff I'm learning. I can regurgitate the stuff you're telling me to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't really have an interest in school. So when I got to college, now I'm in South Jersey. So I go to college. It's like closer to New York. This is New Brunswick. And you know what I'm saying? The scene there is totally different. It's like a lot more kids like me, just underground hip hop heads. I'm still the most underground hip hop head, even up there. This is probably 97. I'm still everyone, I'm like, at this time, I wouldn't even have known Ready to Die. Biggie, I wasn't a Biggie and Jay-Z fan, even at that time. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I was underground always, but so even more underground. But they still knew like boot camp clique. We bonded with certain groups. You know what I'm saying? Like they fuck with them and they fuck with Jay-Z. So I was like, okay, we could common ground, you know what I mean? So it was like, once I got in that environment, I was like, fuck school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I'm going to try to figure my way into this somehow. You know what I mean? Like, and just as so literally, like, I think I wouldn't even go to class, bro. Like, I would just like, I would sleep so much when my alarm would go off. I wouldn't even know what it was. I'm like, what the hell? Because my mind wasn't focused on going to class at all. At a certain point, I just checked out. But meanwhile, I come home, and then the group is starting. You know what I mean? The recording Violent by Design. So yeah, I just was like, once that came into play, I did all my like scholastic goals, collegiate goals. I was like, fuck all that. I'm gonna stick to what my passion is, rap. You know what I mean?
So with with Jedi Mind Tricks, I know that venue still does shows and stuff. He did a show in LA not too long ago that I went to, and it's good and all, great performance and everything. I still don't feel it's the same without you, of course. But what is it about, because when you guys come together, it's straight up magic, what you guys created. And even when you guys do collab again, but what is it about him that you do relate to, and what is different between you two?
Man, you know,
You guys have a chemistry
so
for sure, but then
yeah,
it's like differences too.
right. And what I will say is, in time has passed. I ain't talked to dude in years. I don't feel, you know what I mean? If any type of aggression or negative, I don't even feel it's whatever, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm 46 years old. I don't even care. But, so I won't disrespect the past and be like, you know what I mean? Oh, he was trapped. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, I thought, I'm gonna be real. He has a personality and a funniness about him. I thought he was like my best friend. You know what I'm saying? This is me. I don't have many friends. You know what I mean? Like, I would say it's more of like he was like a city kid. You know what I mean? City kids have 50 friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got a tons of friends. They know everyone. I know like 5 people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a very small circle. That's just how, to this day, this is how I am. So meeting him, seeing he had this huge circle, and then he's always chilling with me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be real too. Certain influences on Violent by Design were because of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, Freddie Fox, there was a lot. He says, whoever opposes me and what I feel might find their legs being replaced by steel. That's Freddie Fox line.
Great.
One of my favorite songs ever is Money in the Bank by Cool G Rap. It's on Cool G Rap, Wanted Dead or Alive. As me and Vin are building with hip hop and shit, I tell him, I literally out of my mouth came that line to him. And he's like, oh yeah, puts it in his rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not like, yo, he ain't steal nothing from me. I'm not, you know what I mean? But I was an influence. You know what I'm saying? Not you like taking my style. You know what I'm saying? But don't front like I'm not influenced this shit. Yeah. Even when you hear Violent by Design, it don't sound like the other albums. You know what I'm saying? There's a feel to that where, it was like, I think they were going into my lane. The first lane was on some, the psychosocial, that was on some spiritual, Nuabu, like, this holy stuff they were doing. And that was the trend then. I'm going to be real. That was the trend then. So when I come in the mix, now it's Cool G Rap. Now it's my Tragedy Gaddafi was my favorite. I'm going to be real. So it's like Cool G Rap, Tragedy. These are my favorite rappers. The Freddie Fox line. These are the features he's finding. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I could get these people to be on. We don't know these people. How does he know to go to these people? This is coming from me. You know what I'm saying? It's like Tragedy is my favorite rapper at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, He just knows the connections to get him to do the song. So it's like, hey, that's what it is. I'm not at the time, I'm not knocking it. I'm like, oh wow, you have all the resources. Hey, my input is helping this. You know what I'm saying? It's like maybe you were going to do this before. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But I know that my input is definitely helping to a certain degree.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Piece of that album, man. That album, when I first heard it, it changed. It changed like a lot. That means underground hip hop. Consider that at times the pinnacle of underground sound.
Wow.
Which is, something I agree with as well. Um, when when you guys started collabing together, were you guys writing together in the same room? Is that how that worked? When, as far as putting these songs together, were you guys in the same location while writing, or did you write away from each other and then come together to record it? As how did that happen?
Nah, I'm gonna be real. So the writing process was always a home thing. I'm a smoker. I would get some trees, just sit home. I would take like a week. This is like for me. I'm like I never wanted to put a whack verse
Yeah,
on, because this is forever. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
at a certain time, I was like, what I mean? Yeah, I can never. You want that consistent quality always. You know what I mean? You never want to just give them a lazy verse. So we wouldn't just go in the studio, just hey, let's figure this out. You know what I mean? We Stoop would send us a beat a week in advance, and sometimes it wouldn't even be the beat, but it would be the tempo, and we
mm,
would just kind of write to that, and just we had the same vibe. See, this is the thing with Vin. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, we was on the same vibe. Basically, this is my vibe, and he's just kind of agreeing with what I'm going with. You know what I mean? Like, and I get it for creative people. Another ear, another, you know what I mean, or another voice in that creative space helps. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like I'm not trying to be like, oh, that was all my. Nah, I'm just, but I definitely have my influence in it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to discredit nobody. I'm not trying to overcredit myself. You look just in retrospect of how I see it played out. You know what I'm saying? Dudes is trying to erase me from the books.
I think it's crazy.
Come on. Yeah, come
That's
on. Stop playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing. But, with, certain medias, I mean, me being active, you know what I mean? I was going through personal situations, you know what I'm saying? Like, it took me out for a little bit. And so then these are the ones controlling the narrative, the active ones, the ones that you think are rolling with the power. You know what I'm saying? Whereas me, I've always thought independently. You know what I'm saying? Like when I seen, then going I'm gonna get Beanie Siegel on a track, and you know what I mean, I'm gonna get Freeway. And I'm just like, that's kind of not your lane, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? His lane is whatever he wants it to be. You know what I'm saying? It's like I didn't want him to fall into that. So it's like you don't want you want to be credited on your own merit. You don't want to be like, yo, like I'm just nice because this dude is approving me or this dude is giving me a coast. You want to build up your own shit. And I thought even Violent by Design, there's 17 features on it. Even to me, I was like, yo, that's a little OD. You know what I'm saying? We're the talent. Why do we need so many features?
because at
But
first heard it, I didn't know who was really a part of the group. When there was so many features, and then I later I
exactly.
learned it was you guys, but I didn't know at first because there were so many different features.
Right. This what I'm saying. That was kind of like, you know, and a lot of them were not a lot of them, but some of them were big names. But it's like, yeah, I thought it kind of watered down us as a group. You know what I'm saying? Like, but hey, this isn't. I'm just not. You can steer the ship. You go ahead. You know what I'm saying? If this is the way you want to play it. But then I seen it's kind of just became a trendy thing. Everyone does that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? An unknown rapper, just let me do a song with a bigger known rapper and get my name out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, we was doing it, or not me, like they were doing it like early on to where I was like, that's kind of weird, but hey, if it's going to get us on, you know what I'm saying? Let's do whatever works.
Yeah. So with you guys, on this album cover for Violent by Design. I'm sorry, I'm just taking some time here, but we're going to talk about some other stuff too. But the album cover,
Yeah,
the album cover of Violent by Design, what was the thought behind the album cover? That I know uh, it was like a man in war, So what was your thought behind
right.
that? How did that come about, that album cover?
That is Vin's. That was Vin's idea. He showed it to me, but I had no input in that.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, he's a digger. You know what I mean? Like him and his friends, they have like archives of like album cover artwork. He's a type of artist. Like he starts that way. You know what I mean? Like he'll start with an album cover. He'll start with song titles. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll pick a song title from heavy metal songs that the hip hop audience wouldn't know.
Mhm.
He'll pick rare, obscure photographs. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of been his thing. So I thought the picture was good, but I didn't really understand the context. Besides the fact that Violent by Design, that picture's from a movie, Hamburger Hill. That is the Reading Rainbow dude. I don't know if you know who that
Is it
is.
really? Because it looks, I can feel like it kind of looks like the guy, but I can't really make it out.
Yes, that's a still from a movie,
Crazy.
Hamburger Hill. Yes, and yeah, Kuta Kinte. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I've never seen Hamburger Hill. I've never seen Deer Hunter. You know what I'm saying? I'm like he was a movie buff too. Even the name Jedi Mind Tricks. But prior to that, I wasn't a real big Star Wars fan like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, but yeah, I thought the name was dope. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah, a lot of this is Vin's. Like I said, he's thinking of like before the music,
Yeah.
he's thinking of these things. You know what I'm saying? The presentation,
Right.
which was good. You know what I'm saying? You need that.
That brings up the funny point is like, you guys were called Jedi Mind Tricks, but yet there wasn't a whole lot of Star Wars references, and now it makes sense, on why it is.
Right. Yeah. I think he just thought it was a cool name. In popular culture, it's more of a, people try to use the Jedi mind trick on you. You know what I mean? That is just like when trying to deceive you or something like that, which is cool. But yeah, it's like, yeah, this is like, yeah, all this was in play before, I even came in the mix. But, like I said, we had a group before, but the Jedi mind tricks, this is like all this was on their own.
So with Retaliation, that's the first track on that, and you're kicking everything off. And your first
Yes.
lines on that is crazy. The description of how you're basically blasting your head off, like the way you describe it is crazy. We break it down on one of our other episodes. Um, what about New Jersey do you think helped shape or influence your ominous gravitas sound?
Right. Yeah. It's so, before probably, I had left Jersey, I couldn't tell you that, but I've traveled a bit, I see Jersey, it's a very cold place. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's I wouldn't say bland, but it's just a hard place. You know what I mean? It's like we're a little south of New York. We're not New Yorkers, but there's just a toughness to Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm from Camden, which is probably one of the tougher parts of Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's like a smaller radius, but it's hard that there's no jobs for the youth. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like it's people are desperate. There's homelessness. You know what I'm saying? Death. It's like it's it's a hard city, you know what I mean? There's no budge, there's no give, you know what I mean? And that has always been, you know, without knowing it, you know what I mean? Like I see now, you know, having traveled, yeah, like that's a part of my character, you know what I mean? Like just this we, you know, we're unapologetic, you know, we don't budge. We're like unforgiving, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, like with me, like and adding into the underground element, you know what I mean? Like the underground hip hop element, you know. I never wanted to be like a Ja Rule or a 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then realizing like, oh well, you're not going to be able to sustain a career as like an underground rapper, you know. But there's dooms, you know what I'm saying? There's people that have done it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like yeah, it was hard. I just found that like, oh, you know, but I'm a dude of principles, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna rock with people just because, you know what I'm saying, or just to be down or just to keep things moving, you know.
That's dope that you bring that up because I think that's one of the lures to you, and it's one of the reasons why I try to reach out to you because you're a guy that's like known to stand on principle, whether it's like music artistry, street stuff, or like just even business. You know, you're someone who's kind of like known kind of for that, which is dope. I didn't really have a question surrounding that, but since you brought that up, I just wanted to like acknowledge that I see it from over here
Thank you.
in Southern California. you know,
Wow.
and I think that's
Thank you, brother.
yeah, it's one of the dope things about you, man. Um, I wanted to ask you another question about Violent by Design. With when you first heard the Eye Against Eye beat, what was your first reactions to that? Because that track, I think, became an underground anthem, especially for somebody like me. When I heard that, I was just like, yeah, Jedi Mind Tricks, like they're my group. What was
Yes.
what was it like hearing that beat from Stoop, and how did that track come about?
Yeah. So I think I did hear the beat first. Stoop just dropped the beat. That was probably one of the ones where I did hear that was the original beat that I wrote to.
Damn.
And yeah, like
Raw poems. Yeah.
yes,
Static,
yes, thank
static
you.
poems. Yeah, yeah. That's a sick.
Thank you, brother.
I was
Yes.
like, the
So
first two words already, raw poems. Like already, I was just like, damn, dude. Like for me, that was like poetry, like peak underground hip hop poetry. Like only a few got that or understood. And I feel like you guys were like the raps groups, like somebody who was very inspired and was starting to get into rap. I listened to you guys and I'm like, oh man, like they're killing it on and
yeah,
that's the way I took it.
thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, yeah. It's like uh we this is me, this is my perspective on it. I'm like I look at underground hip hop as like you would look at like um and one or street ball to the
Yeah,
major leagues, and I'm hot sauce. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm the professor. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like I'm nicer than the dudes that's playing for real. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm in this smaller league. You know what I'm saying? Like you come to me to see the windmill dunks. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, we was definitely like the underground rapper. You know what I mean? Like this is who like I wanted to be. You know what I mean? I never wanted to be the chain wearing, Versace suit, Gucci and shit like that. Like I was never a part of that. So yeah, it was like we always wanted to just keep it raw and like yeah, once that track, yeah, like this is where I'm thinking like, this is I mean, in retrospect, it's like this is like our like how Tribe was, when you have a track like I Against, not everybody can get on that. You know what I mean? It's like for me, it was like a Tribe Called Quest, their first album. That was uniquely Tribe Called Quest. You can't put De La Soul in replacing them. You can't put a Woo in, on that album, and it's going to sound the same. This is strictly Tribe. So I'm looking at like tracks like that. It's like, okay, this is where we find our lane. You know what I'm saying? This is like this is good. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't got it's not too hard. You know what I mean? It's like it's light. This is kind of a good representation of who we are. And Planet, you know, like I said, there's no animosity or I don't feel anything about dudes no more. We don't talk, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But Planet back then, you know, he was such a integral part of that song, you know, just the vibe of it, you know, at least from my perspective. I think that maybe the hook even came first. Maybe we had the verses first, but everything just melded. Everything just kind of melted together with him, his vibe in the studio. And you know what I mean? Like, it'll delve us like the sun because we shine with rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like I'm gonna be at the time, I really was like, oh, the hook sounded silly. I'm like, we like the sun, whatever. What? Like, it didn't make no sense to me at the time, but it trusted it. You know what I mean? Like it came out dope. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think that with mixed with the beat or the instrumental, the way it
yes,
sounded, sounded like it just sounded like I don't even know how to put it, but uh, I guess it went along very nicely with the instrumental. The way
right, right,
ends
right.
up becoming timeless. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that see, I'm gonna give credit, I'm gonna give Planet his credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always like Planet was never like the super lyrical. I'm gonna be real about Vin too. I would say Vin maybe he's a little bit better than Planet, but Planet was never like super lyrical. But he just understood how to rhyme. You know what I'm saying? It was like he just had like a flow about him, you know. And I'm not saying it was the greatest flow, but you know what I'm saying, that takes a skill as well. You know what I mean? Like, and I respected that. You know what I mean? He wasn't trying to do what I did. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't trying to do what Ben was doing, but it just was like a cool type of you know what I mean, around the way kid we let on the track. But you know what I mean, I would say for Ben, you know what I mean, like their influence or Planet's influence was more, you know, ingrained in him. You know what I mean? Like he knew to go to him for certain shit. You know what I mean? He knew where to utilize where to utilize him. You know what I mean? Because honestly, him and Planet were closer than me and Vin. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Planet probably outer space probably could have been in the group. You know what I mean? Like they were closer than me. You know what I'm saying? Like I always looked at it like that. You know what I mean? But it was like for some reason he didn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all fend for yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like just put them out there like that. But you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they was definitely like a part of that sound. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Vin, like I said, you know, as far as my creativity, you know, Vin's taking some influence from me. He's taking some influence from Plant. You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing, you know.
There was a line in there I just want to give you props about. Was the line about you stole heat from Prometheus?
Oh,
Ouch.
yes,
Dude, once
yes,
I heard
yes,
that,
yes.
we have a short clip on our YouTube where we just talked about that line of yours, and once we hit that line, man, dude, it was over, man. It was over once you hit that line. I was just
Yes. Yes, yes. You know, I love that line, you know, and I'm like, when I'm writing it, you know, it's like, who knows who Prometheus is? You know, this is 2000, this is 2001. You know what I mean? Whoever's up on their, you know, Greek mythology or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that story stuck out to me, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the Pegasus story, you know, Wings of the Pegasus, and you know, for me, this is like just a little pocket I was in. You know what I'm saying? Like, and as far as doing that, just little historic stuff I picked up. You know what I mean, from the curriculum or whatever. But yeah, stolen heat. You know, Prometheus stole the fire. You know what I mean? And we call, you know, yeah, we
yeah,
call burners, you know, heat. We call the
yeah,
sticks heat. Yeah. So yeah.
yeah. It
Yeah,
was
you
sick.
know, I was you know, that and I'm so honored people even acknowledge stuff like that, because how long, you know, it took me to think, or you know, you just, because I'm always trying to outdo stuff. So just being recognized for it. I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, man. Another bar out of there I want to just kind of highlight here is you said something about night calls, we target your facade. My latitude is God. I was
Hmm.
like, dude, that right there was a bar. My latitude is God. I just thought
Yes.
that was this so hard, man, when that came out. I was just like, damn, dude. And that's what inspired, I think, a lot of MCs to write better, and I think that's why you guys have such an occult following because the lyrics are peak of like you, and I think compliments to you and Vinny because I feel like the way you guys came together and were writing, it was like competitive, it feels like. Feel if and I feel like
Hmm.
that brought the best out of both of you because of that. There's a lot of fans out there that are fans of Vinny, and I tell my buddies all the time, I'm like, to be honest, I was more of a fan of Just Allah, to be honest,
Wow.
because
Thank you, brother.
I felt like you really, man, you really just amped up everything. And I've heard their earlier stuff before that, and there was something special when you linked up with them. I was just like, damn, who is this dude? Where did he come from? Like,
Yes.
props to you on that track. I think that's a legendary track that I constantly go back to, dude. And I'm sure a lot of people do. I think Vinny ended the show, I think, with Eye Against Eye or either that or Heavenly Divine, one of the
Oh,
two.
wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I wanted to also bring up Muerte. It's another one of my standout favorite tracks. There was a line that you said on there, there's no Jehovah watching over us. Dude, I was just like, damn, dude, whoo, that's like, I almost felt like, man, should I be listening to this? Because it's like hardcore, dude. Um,
Yes.
what is it about like religious themes or mystic apocalyptic themes sometimes that like seep through your lyrics? What is it about that inspires that fearlessness in you and what you rap about? What is it about these
Yeah.
themes?
So yes, this is me at 19. I'm become, studying becoming a student of the nation of the gods and earths. You know, and from my base to this day, I think Christianity is a slave making religion.
Mhm.
Especially for Black people. It's like, yeah, so I was totally against it. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, like, I didn't even know why my people still followed that. My mom to this day Christian, and the rest of the family. It's like, but me, I've always like questioned it. I'm like, hold up, what the fuck? Like, you know, churches are the most segregated places. You know what I'm saying? There's like, you know,
It has a bad history too. Yeah.
right, right, right. So it's like this. So God, He wants us, to worship separately. That's insane. You know what I'm saying? A universal God is like, and then it's like, yeah, it's the racial hierarchy. If you believe in that white Jesus, you're going to believe in the racial hierarchy of, yeah, if God is white, Black people, what I mean, must be punished or being must be being punished for some reason because they're Black. And it's just slave making, material. So I was just like always against that. Christianity and Jesus and praising a white Jesus. I hated that shit. You know what I'm saying? And, I think, yeah, as a man, as a Black man especially, that stuff is dangerous, because you're this is the religion of your open enemy. This is a book handed to you by your open enemy, and you're still, just caught up in the tradition of, celebrating the holidays and, what I mean, just going along to go along. You know what I mean? It's like we got to get out of that. It's like can't just be robotic. We have to have a direction, and it isn't the direction our open enemy wants us to go. You know what I mean? If anything, it's going to be in total rebellion of our open enemy. Like I've always been against that. I'm against the schools. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been like skeptic about like the establishment, and these used to be these people were enslaving us and killing us, and now we're all of a sudden supposed to trust them. You know what I'm saying? I don't subscribe to that.
So you're talking about like systemic, like racism, in other words, in these establishments,
Yes,
the history in that, and you're just skeptic
yes,
about that.
exactly. This is me, you know. So, like I said, I'm coming from eighth grade. So before eighth grade, I went to probably a mixed school. I would say, you know, there was probably 30% black, you know, 60% white. You know what I'm saying? Then eighth grade, I go to, it's 99% white. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only black kid in my class. There's other black kids in every class. There's like a black kid in ninth grade. It's like a black girl in 10th grade. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But so I'm like, I'm dealing with the white people. You know what I mean? I'm being called the nigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's like, yeah, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's only me there too. You know, like I'm fighting. I remember I'm fighting 10th grade. So I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna tell a quick story.
Right.
Eighth grade, I arrived at the school. This is maybe 2 weeks like before Thanksgiving. I arrive at this school, and like when I'm there, maybe like 2 weeks, and some kid had my foot in a chair, and some kid just comes up to me. He's like the bully. This this is the bully. And so the kid, yeah, the school goes from 7th to 12th grade.
Mm.
So he's a 7th grader, but he's like the bully. I'm 8th grade. He comes up. He's like, I got my foot in the chair. I'm just chilling. He comes up, move your foot, nigger. This is me. I'm 13, 12 years old. I'm like, what the fuck? No one's ever talked to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been called, you know, like a nigger before from a distance. You know what I'm saying? You say that shit from afar. You don't say that to my face. My instant reaction, I just got up. I smacked the shit out of this kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, from then on, I didn't have a problem in that school till about like 10th grade. Then they got taught. Then they got tough again. They ganged up on me. They got tough again, and you know what I'm saying. I think I fought. I never lost. I'm gonna be. I'm not even exaggerating. I never lost a fight to them kids. But I was fighting probably like every day. Like I would swing on somebody or something like that. I wasn't even getting like suspended
Yeah.
because there was like so many fights going on. And it was an obvious racial problem. You know, I'm the only black kid. Why am I the only one fighting? You know what I'm saying? It's like obvious. So I'm always leery of white people, even the ones that I'm friends with. You know what I'm saying? I was friends with. You know, I'm not friends to this day because I saw something in them that I was like, you know what I mean? Like maybe I was different in that environment that I like to who I am today. Like I'm like, nah, I ain't going for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when you become exposed to different things, you get out of this environment. You know, this is my teenage years. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah. So it's like This is all I know. But then when I'm taken out of this environment, given a chance to grow, learn, see the world, now I'm coming into it with a different perspective. But yeah, it's like back then, yeah, I'm coming with the anti-Christian stuff because I know it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, these people aren't friendly. Behind your back, these people are always talking about you. You know what I mean? And I'm not even trying to be like rude, but how I look at it is like every white person, they're either related to a racist themselves, or they're friends with a racist. You know what I mean? It's like every white person falls into that category somehow. You know what I mean? And I like the open ones. You know what I mean? Like, my pop's racist, or yeah, my uncle Rock. You know what I mean? He's a fucking racist, bro. Like, just I won't bring you around. And show me the respect. Hey, I won't put you around him. You know what I mean? Like, but I understand. This is your family member. You're not gonna cut off your family. You know what I'm saying? I understand. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm always like, yo, I gotta be alert to, hey, who I'm around. You know?
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, I feel you, man. And you know what's funny about all that? You're saying all that. my own backstory. My dad's a pastor, so that's like my my backstory. Do you though see? Because I understand what you're saying about religion and all that. Because I know the history that it's of religion and how it's came over here and all that stuff. Do you feel that there is some uses for religion? I mean, the people I think sometimes look to religion for like hope and stuff when it comes to death, family members and stuff like that.
Yes. I mean, I'm an extremely spiritual person. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, as far as like me thinking like, there's an organized book, or you gotta seek salvation through a certain man, of a certain credential. I don't believe that. I believe, faith and community that bonds people. Oh, I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? Anything that bonds the family. You know what I mean? We're all the one human family. I believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all one human family. This whole division of race, that's new. You know what I'm saying? That's like it doesn't even really feel right. You know what I mean? Like that's unnatural.
Yeah.
We don't really like my best friend literally is a white dude. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like we bond on a level where it's not, we're just human beings. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is we are shared. This is a shared experience we have together on this planet. Why not make it easy for each other? Why not just love each other? To divide, you know, to use that as a division, is, I just think it doesn't make any sense. But as far as, yeah, as religion is, it's if it brings together a community of people who are bonded in faith and love, of course, what I mean, I'm all for that. What I mean, no matter what banner, whatever you call it, if it's bonding, if people are getting together on a Sunday, loving each other, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And what I think it's interesting too is like, things get brought up, even around our times and stuff. And I think it's important for things to get brought up because that helps people learn, and understand
Yes.
these are things that are going on in other places where you don't live or where you don't typically, or you might not see it where you're at, but it doesn't mean it's not going on in other places. And
Right.
I think that's also important. I wanted to touch on Heavenly Divine. I know we got a little sidetracked on that other one, but Heavenly Divine. It's definitely a big time anthem in the underground hip hop worlds, and you and Paz literally went back and forth on that track, which was one of the dope back and forths. Um, one of the top back and forths that I've heard, um, especially at that time. And I just wanted to ask you on that track, did you guys, because that one you guys were going back and forth, so that one, was that different? Did you guys write together in the same space for that particular verse?
No, no. Honestly, that was like the first track we recorded, when
Oh,
we
really?
linked back up.
Oh,
Yes. Heavenly Divine. And there was over there's a dude named Buck 50. He's from LA actually.
oh, really?
He has
Okay.
a song called Dead End Street. Walking down a dead end street. I think you're walking down a dead end street. I forget like I think Alchemist even produced it.
Really?
But
Shoot, I
yeah,
gotta.
yeah. We were like, we were uh we rapped over that first. Stoop didn't have the beat yet. So we just rapped over that. And so, but the lyrics were lyrics like, so we didn't even write to that beat. And yeah, like the Heavenly Divine beat. We did, he laid our vocals over that. We didn't even write to that. But the lyrics, these were like before we even got, I think, so yeah, before we even got together, we were formulating. He was just like, yo, just have some rhymes ready. I had the first rhyme that I wrote, and I had the the back and forth is my verse. That
Oh shoot. Okay.
we took that, a second verse that I had written, and we just split it up in rhyme, to make forth together.
Wow. Okay. No wonder why it sounds so cohesive. Like it sounds really tight.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow. Shoot. That's crazy, dude. Okay. Wow. Okay. I didn't know that one. So when collabing and everything with Jedi Mind Tricks and you guys became this group and created a classic and everything, did the success of Jedi Mind Tricks did that weigh heavy on you on your decision to ultimately walk away from the group?
The success, no. Nah, definitely not the success. If I would like I said, I'm coming into this, they have already got a formulated plan together. It just so happens when they add me into the group, that's when we blow up. So I look at it as like, yo, I'm a third of this. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? They don't see it. This is where the rift starts to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like the egos, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real. This is the first show we do is in Boston.
Awesome.
The flyer says Vinny Paz and Jedi Mind Tricks. I'm like, what's it? Who? I'm Jedi. Who's Jedi Mind Trick? Like, you're Jedi Mind Trick. What are they doing? But he's just elevating himself, above. He's already positioning himself outside of the group. You know what I mean? And maybe it's the I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying. Though. That would kind of strike me a little differently, like over the group. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm like, but I'm like, hey, who am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, yeah, I'm thankful to be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? I never tripped about that. Like, I could see if I was like him, he would have to maneuver and do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm me. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, you want the spotlight? Hey, get down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to upstage you. I'm trying to put my best input into what we do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but just him kind of just someone really thinking like that about you, not like I'm not like a competitive dude. I'm gonna compete with you on the paper, on the mic, not like, you know what I'm saying, trying to show I'm a bigger person than you, or you know what I mean, more talented. I'm not trying to do all that. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is where I left the group because of the egos, not necessarily because of the success of the group. I kind of felt what's it matter? I'm not if I'm not getting what I want out of it, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? I could just work a regular job and do what I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with this. This is my passion. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it right. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of rappers get in there. They get on a major label, and then it's you can't do what you want to do. If you want to be a rapper, you got to make this type of music. And they're like, oh shit, well, okay, I want to rap, so this is what I'm gonna do. Me in that same position, but I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? That's not me.
Did they want you to change your whole style up and your name and all that, or how far of it were they going with that?
Oh no, I mean, well, in relationship to me, this is the group of, as far as I'm gonna be real. So I leave the group. This is right after Violent. This is maybe 2002, after Violent by Design, and they were trying to do this whole heavy metal, rock and roll thing with Baby Grand. You know what I mean? They were gonna try to do some new heavy metal sound. You know what I mean? And I was just like, oh, really? You know what I'm saying? This is what it is now. You know what I mean? And like, and you know, just them like, not cluing me in, like treating me like I'm not a member of the group. You know what I'm saying? Which is weird to me because it's never like, okay, bro. This is how far they took shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay, little weird shit. And this brings it back to heavenly divine. I'm like, oh, I'm like, insane damage is done. You fucking with the army, and then like little side jokes. You're not an army of the pharaohs. And I was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
wow, bro. Like, and I didn't even imply. I didn't even say army. I said, wow. It's like, but this is in his mind. Oh, you think you're an army of the pharaohs now? You know what I mean? Like what? Oh, like so. I'm gonna be real. Maybe he's a little mentally off, but this is what I'm dealing with. Like some dude always think I'm trying to outdo him when I'm really not. I'm just I'm better sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get mad at me. There's been times, bro, like dudes be in the crowd screaming my name. And I'm like, I don't invite that shit. You know, hey, you a fan, that's what it is. But it pisses him off. And I'm like, bro, why are you hating on me? You know, but that's him. You know what I'm saying? It's like he he felt like I was trying to upstage him to some degree. And that was never what it was with me. I don't even, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like before I could that could even process, he wanted to chop that notion down. You know what I'm saying? But you can't chop me down. I'm Jus Allah. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, you know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but yeah, that's more of the reason why I left the group. You know, like him and Stoop, I thought they were weird. You know, to a certain degree. You know, but I didn't even question that type of stuff until they started really taking little jabs at me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I'm a real gracious dude to this day. I would say as gracious as I am now. You know, I was well probably I'm probably at the peak of like who I am now. You know, I'm just a gracious dude. I'm very peaceful, loving, caring. You know what I'm saying? But you poke and prod at me, you're gonna bring out a different person. You know what I'm saying? And so they just kept poking. And it's just like, and this is where, I'm like, yo, is this, like I said, is this some type of, are you jealousy, or is this are you some type low key racist type shit going on? You know what I mean? Like on some real shit. Like, what is it? Like, I don't got no problems anywhere else but with these dudes. You know what I'm saying? So I would always look at it like in retrospect, yeah, like I had to look at it from that angle because I didn't see it happening anywhere else, and I felt like I was being targeted.
Mhm. Mm. Man, it's so crazy how much nuanced it is, and I always thought it was nuanced, and I was just like, man, I wish, back in the day, I was like, man, I wish I could really like understand, but I felt like it always was nuanced. And it's crazy hearing you now
Yes.
talk about how indeed nuanced it really was, because what you guys
Yes.
so many fans wanted you guys to still create more music, in classic hip hop, so it's like it's understandable though, like what the things you're talking about on that. So now like
Right.
starting your own thing. Well, I did want to ask you though, with the because in the documentary, there was a documentary that's online about you guys, and I think there was a point when Vinny and Stoop were starting to sign this deal, and it was said kind of like you broke away because you didn't want to sign with the label necessarily, that you wanted to do more independent, but it sounds like there was more things than just that. Is that right?
Oh yeah. Totally, totally. You know what I mean? It was missing money that like I wasn't accounted for. just the way that they were doing business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trusting you guys. What are you talking about? Like, I got to go through the paperwork with you. Like, what are you talking? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think they just kind of took advantage of my naivete to the situation. And like, I'm gonna be real. I'm a black kid with no money. All I got is talent to rhyme. You know what I'm saying? This is all I'm contributing. So yeah, behind the scenes, they're the ones. You know, the money is filtering through, and you know they decide what they can pay me. You know what I mean, or what they're. If it's not, I doubt it's a third. You know, of course it's not a third. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they're determining my worth. You know what I mean? It's like I can't let you do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And especially if it's not like what I think it should be. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, man, I'm gonna be real. All these memories are flooding back. And like I said, bro, I don't have no hostility towards dude anymore. You know what I mean? It's like it's whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but you know what I mean? The truth is still the truth. You know what I'm saying? I gotta say what it was. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was like I can't just go along with the flow, even though you're dangling, you know, a lifestyle or my passion in front of me. You know what I mean? Because that killed me. I'm like, bro, this is the one thing I want to do, and it's tainted by these assholes. You know what I'm saying? And we had a good thing. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, for whatever reason, I think they did more to destroy it of what it could have been than, you know, than anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I felt like, hell, dudes do got a good chemistry. I don't see, you know, I get along with everybody. I get along with people love me to this day. Good people love me. You know what I mean? I'm a very likable dude. And I was this way back then. It was just like, when you got people who are targeting, you know what I'm saying, or trying to throw you off your guard, just because I guess that's the environment. They're from a hostile environment or something like that. So where they feel like they have to, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it was more than anything. You know what I mean? Like I said, it was like, we could have really killed, you know what I mean? Like, but it was just, you know, dudes just had too big of egos, you know?
Yeah, because I heard you on your solo debut album, and dude, you didn't miss a beat. Like you were killing it
Thank
on
you,
that,
brother.
dude. And
Thank you, brother.
yeah, I wanted to ask you about that one. That album, by the way, was called All Fates Are
Have
Changed.
changed.
Yeah, have
Yes,
changed.
sir. Yes, sir.
Um, which featured Lord Jamal. It featured
Yes.
Jizza. Jizza was on that.
Yes.
Man, dude, a lot of notable MCs, but not but actually it wasn't like oversaturated though. It was kind of like in perfect spots, you know.
Right.
So that album was man, that album was dope, man. And you can see how like there's aspects of Violent by Design that are carried over into your project, you know, and it's
Right.
cool how you can see that. Um, what was some tracks? Tomorrow was a dope track. Um, there were some other ones. You said something about like Earth no longer needs your service or something like that. I thought
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was a
Yeah, that may be on tomorrow. Yeah, you know, God is my favorite track on that album.
D. Yeah, he had some classics on there. And then the one with Jizza.
Supreme.
Supreme
Oh
was
yeah, there's Pool of Blood. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was your single, right? I think off of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was dope. How was it working with Jizza? Because I heard you in an interview say that you don't typically like to reach out for features and do all that because you
Nah,
prefer it to naturally just occur. But how did it come
right.
about you and Jizza, man? That was sick.
Right. So yeah, this is the same label that Jedi Mind Tricks is on.
Yeah, that's also was
So
interesting. I noticed that.
right. So yeah, like I ended up, you know, working with the same dude. This is like I'm kind of transitioning back into the group when I go back for the second time. So, but this album is the build up to that. It's like It did really well too, as far as like an underground album goes. And so, yeah, I'm recording this, and Chuck, or I forget dude's name. Chuck, yeah, it's Chuck. He was like their manager. It was like a convoluted. He was like the manager, that he ran the label. He was like booking talent agent. You know what I'm saying? So it was like he was getting the features, and he just felt that I'm telling him I don't need features because this is a crook. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be real about it. He's telling me this is how they do you, bro. So he's telling me, oh, we got to pay for producers, we got to pay for these features, and then after that, you're probably not going to be left with much money. So I'm like, oh, well, okay. Well, let me find the producers, and like, let's not do no features. Yeah. Nah, we can't do that. I already got this lined up. See what labels do is they'll have their guy that they owe, or they owe some money to, or want to toss them some work. Hey, produce this album for me. Agallah was the guy that, you know what I mean? Hey, produce this album. I'll give you some bread. You know what I'm saying? Just like to, keep them around, whatever. Meanwhile, I'm the one that don't get no money for my own album. You know what I'm saying? It's all split up between these dudes. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, oh, all right, that's how they want to play it. I never finished the album. You know what I'm saying? Like, he took I was recording an independent album of my own, which it's Devil's Rejects and All Fates Have Changed. It's like literally one album, you know what I'm saying? So it's like some Devil's Rejects is what I was recording before All Fates Have Changed. And then I just took the All Fates or Devil's Rejects and put All Fates Have Changed, together. And so, I never finished the album. Chuck, he just bought the rest of the music illegally, you know what I mean? Like, and this is the thing too. I'm just a young kid. These are black people, dude. This is a black dude too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if he's black like me. You know what I mean? Like he may be like Caribbean or something like that. But these are black people ripping me off. You know what I'm saying? Like, under the veil of like, oh, I don't have a voice to tell nobody about it, so it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? You get played like that when you don't got like a team of people and shit like that. Wow. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, they just kind of gaffled me for the album. By the time the album was released, and 2025 will be, the 20-year actually anniversary of it. But when the album was actually released, I wasn't even cool with the label or none of that. They just kind of released it on their own. But I just given enough work, you know what I mean, for them to finish the album without, you know what I'm saying? But it was like they were already ripping me off. So, yeah, I just never finished the album. But there was maybe like 3 sessions. Within those 3 sessions, that's what you hear on All Fates Have Changed.
Damn. So like, what is that like? How does that impact you? Do you end up like lawyering up and all that stuff, or getting a team that defends you in that, or do you like just kind of quit the industry, or like what? How does that impact you going through that?
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna be real. This is life. You know what I'm saying? This is life. The poor people, we don't have no protection. You know what I mean? We got like lawyer up. You know what I'm saying? I've even contacted family members, and they were like, no, we can't help. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're literally on your own. I've been like that like my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but yeah, for the amateur artists, or independent artists, yeah, you're nothing to the machine. You know what I'm saying? That they do whatever, they tell you whatever they want to tell you. The payments are always late, or you know what I mean? You got to hound people or not get paid at all. You know what I'm saying? It's like yeah, they do you dirt.
So crazy.
And so, yeah, I was.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So what I was saying, yeah, I was always soured by the industry. you know what I mean, of it. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is me. I'm a dude with, you know, 3 people in my circle. You know what I mean? My mom and my best friend, one of them, or 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just, you know what I mean? I've always had a small circle. So when I got to deal with like industry people and people that's trying to rob you and always trying to get over on you, like, it just turns me off. I'm like, damn, like, I just want to rap. You know what I mean? I just don't want a hot beat. Let me put my best rhyme on it. That's all it is for me. It ain't all this like, oh, how's the video going to look, or how am I going to be perceived? And it ain't about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's so crazy because, as a artist or out here, like, who wants to make it, that's the dream. Like, the dream is like, oh man, I want to make it. But like, unknowingly there's all these other things that go on or that happen, like shady business. That's always
Mhm.
crazy to me. But I know, like, it's life, and stuff like that, I guess, happens. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's crazy, and props to you though, dude, because, like, I feel like, that goes to what I was saying earlier. Like, I feel like you always are a dude that stands on the principle of stuff, and like that just somehow, no matter like whether you had like these ups and downs or not, like, I feel like that's the takeaway. Like, you still persevered and like are still revered as the dope MC that you are. I mean, I heard your I don't know if this is your recent album or not, but MMA, like, dude, you're
Amen.
still
Yes.
killing it, dude. And it's
Thank you,
crazy.
brother.
And
Thank you, brother.
it's dope to hear because, like, on that project, I don't know, did you have like complete freedom on that project to do what you wanted to do?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. You can tell,
So
man.
yeah,
It's like, I don't
that's
know if
why.
there's features. I
Yeah.
don't know if there's features on that. It doesn't sound like there is. It sounds like it's all you.
No, no, no. This is my see when I'm left to my own devices, this is I know I'm a strong lyricist. I can hold down. You know what I'm saying? This is and yeah, the even the reviews from that album, people always talk about the lyrics. You know, it was a 9 out of 10 lyric. You know what I mean? 10 out of 10.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I've always tried to and like I said, give it left to my own devices. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got to deal with all these people and all this gossip, and you know what I mean? Like, it just, I'm gonna be real. Musically, hey, we did what we did, but as, like, people on a people level, those just ain't. That's not my tribe. Those are my people. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, you know, I'm just a different person. You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever have any other artists like try to swoop you up? Because I feel like if I was doing it, I would have reached out to you quick and be like, "Yo, just like come through, man." Like, that's how I would have took it.
Nah,
That's
nah.
nah.
Right? No, no, not at all. And even to a certain extent, once I stopped, and like I said, this is no hostility towards them. I'm not mad or whatever. But once I stopped dealing with them, they literally went on a campaign, like telling all their friends and everybody, don't mess with me. You know what I'm saying? So that, you know what I mean? Like, and for me, it's like, okay, that works in your white circles, maybe. That's not gonna work around my people. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they're even doing it or have done that, that just looks very bad on them. You know what I mean? There's no way they can spin it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, this is what I was always trying to warn them. Like, yo, like, watch what you, bro. You don't think I'm gonna have a voice one day? You don't think this is gonna come out? But they were just so confident in that, or you know what I mean, like they were gonna be able to spin it. You know what I mean? Like, they got black friends and they got black friends now. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, bro, if they knew this white dude, they would not fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they knew him like I knew him. And I'm not the type to like, yeah, I'm not gonna hit these people up and tell them that shit. You
Nah.
know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, like I'm not trying to like deliberately sabotage them like they did me. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we're different people. Like this, I've heard that like when you have to resort to the same warfare your enemy uses, you're no longer yourself, or you've lost already. You know what I'm saying? Because you've become your enemy. You know what I mean? I've just never used those dirty tactics. You know what I'm saying? I've just never been that type of dude.
Speaking of what you mentioned right now, just kind of like maybe think of another question, because lyrically, man, you're dope lyrically, man. You bring in a lot, you bring in different references sometimes, and I wonder, where you get these references from. So are you a book reader? Are you like a series watcher? Do where do you draw sometimes these references that you get? Where does it like all come from?
Yeah, I am heavy into entertainment. I didn't even notice, but yeah, I do read a lot of books. Uh, um, I think the last book I read was I'm into the Silo series on Apple TV. I watched the series, then I read the books, and I've read a lot. I just like fiction and science fiction, sometimes books, but I watch a lot of TV too. I like, I consume a lot of entertainment, but it's more for ideas. You know what I'm saying? Because they may be talking about a random thing. You know what I'm saying? You never know what you can hear or pull or draw from, the ethos. You know what I mean? Like, just to pull it out. And so, yeah, I just like to always stay, listening to art, or watching art. I'm a fan of Banksy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I collect mediums from all, creative people.
That's dope, man. Yeah, like a sponge almost, dude. That's
Yes.
yeah, that's dope, man. And it's crazy because like sometimes you don't even remember, but like as you write, I feel like sometimes that just comes, like, and it'll just come
Yes.
to you, which is dope. I wanted to go back to MMA. Was that by one producer? Did you have different producers on that?
Yes. That this is, these were just the homies. You know what I'm saying? Like, unknown producers. I think so. Psycho Les gave me a beat, which I just took from instrumental he had, because okay, so yo, all right, so this goes into another story real quick. Then so you're a fan, cheesesteaks.
I've heard of cheesesteaks. I'm not really familiar with the work though.
So to get that cheesesteaks beat, Ben tells Psycho Les, yo, I'll give you a track. So he includes me on that. I don't know if Psycho, now I'm assuming Psycho Les uh, included me. Ben's like, no, I'll give you a track. He's like, no, I want the both. Why wouldn't he? You know what I mean? He knows this is Jedi mind tricks. But Ben is trying to finagle. So he's sweating me about this track. Like, he's been sweating me hard about this track. And I'm like, what's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? He's like, and, come to find out behind the scenes, he's negotiating me. I'm not getting paid for this. I didn't get shit for it. He's negotiating a verse for me to get a beat for Psycho Les, the cheesesteaks beat. And I'm just like, just little weird shit like that behind the scenes. Just tell me that. You know what I'm saying? But this is his thinking. You know what I mean? Like, always got to be deceitful about shit. Yeah. So yeah, so that's how the Psycho Les beat ended up on my album, because Psycho Les contacts me. He's like, yo, I wanted to know if I could use your verse, because me and Bennett split. Ben tells, I don't want him on the song with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. He's like, he's gonna put me on a different song. Whatever. You know what I mean? I don't even. So this is like, he's putting me on a different beat. You know what I mean? Whatever. I don't care. He wants to use it. Go ahead. But you know what I mean? He could have left. I didn't have a problem if he would have left it on the track. But then, now he doesn't want me on the track. Okay. So, but this is stuff that just gives me a headache, bro. I just don't want to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? But so, yeah, that's why the Psycho Les beat ended up on my album. Because I'm just like, well, if you use that verse, hey, you don't got to make me a beat. I'm like, no, it's Psycho Les. Out of respect, I love Psycho Les. But I'm like, bro, you don't got, I know what a psycho lesbian would cause. I wasn't about to pay him, and I know I gave him the verse, but it's still like, just you already got a beat I was fucking with. Let me just get this and put this on my album. He was like, cool, you know what I'm saying? But everybody else was just like these amateur, dudes that I fuck with their beats, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they were just doing it on just to look me out.
That's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. And it's cool because like the beats were all dope too. Like all of them were sick, man. So it was like
Thank you.
it,
Yeah.
it says a lot to you too because you're selecting these. So that's also tight because it kind of all like really was cohesive then, but it was different. You were doing some vivid storytelling, which was sick. I think there was one where I don't know if it was like the police or someone wanted you to kind of like reveal like where you did with the body or something like that, and you were like, magician doesn't reveal his tricks and all this stuff. That
Yes.
was dope.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It was dope.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. 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 I have
it's
a blind mom's. Yes. Yes. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Then
Don't and see the
go ahead.
oh go oh yes no, sir. Sorry. This I'm gonna be real. This is nostalgic for me because I do it. These are my favorite rhymes. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? This isn't like I'm just putting together a project to give people. My
right.
music comes from yo. These are my favorite rhymes, so I'm gonna make sure they're on point, and I'm gonna let you hear 'em. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm catering to an audience. You know what I mean? Like I'm the biggest hip hop fan. You know what I mean? I'm my biggest fan or the biggest hip hop fan I know. So I'm just gonna, just give you this as a just straight from the heart. You know what I'm saying? No filter, no nothing. It's like here, this in its purest form.
Yeah, man, that's the key word, pure, man. That's how I feel like your lyricism is pure, dude. That's dope.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
When winter's going to, man, you have a lot of dope tracks, dude. But that one, that
Nicest.
track, you started off crazy. Yeah, he said something about being mistaken for Satan. Something about you'll use his name for
Yeah,
escaping,
for
or
escaping evasion. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
dude. The
yeah,
lyrics are so sick, man. Props to
yeah.
you on lyricism, man. Like, I don't know how, I mean, how how you developed because the first debut I heard you was on Violent by Design, and you already sounded like professional already. So, like, did you have any demos earlier than that, like solo demos or anything? Like, did you like record at your house or anything by yourself or anything like that?
Bro, nah. I've always been like a freestyler. You know, and known for the like rhyming has been my identity since like ninth grade. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, when I first talking about that first school I went to, this is me in eighth grade. Like the first thing I'm telling people is I rhyme. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? This is me back then. So I've always identified as a rapper.
Did you
You
ever
know,
did you ever have any crews or anything like in high school as far as like that wanted to rap with you or saw that in you, or was it just completely solo from the get?
yeah, it was completely solo. Literally, bro. Like, okay, so I go to this new school. I'm like, and I got maybe a friend that plays basketball and a friend that likes hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? They didn't like each other. You know what I mean? Two white kids. They didn't hang out. So yeah, like the first kid that like hip hop, you know what I mean? Like he's rich. Uh I get like I said, I get there around Thanksgiving. The first week, from there, he's a skateboarder. He's got the shaved haircut with the hair on the one side covering his eye.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
next week, bro, he had like the MC Search box. And I'm
Okay.
like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, because bro, it's like you didn't just cut your because a new black kid that just came to your school. Now you got a box, but bro, this is this is me. This is my reality. And literally, that's exactly what it was. He tells his mom he wants to be a DJ. He gets all new equipment for Christmas, bro. It was like the spread. He gets like, he gets like, he gets a beat machine, like an Akai beat machine, like Premiere has, and like turntables. He didn't get Techniques. I think they were Gemini. They were definitely Gemini, but he got the top of the line stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, maybe scratched once or twice, maybe DJ'd a party once or twice. But this is how I meet Vin. This is the same kid. You know, he tells people he's a DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, he meets Vin and Stoop. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is how like I'm getting to, you know, this is the one friend that gets me in. But yeah, I never really had a crew or any crew I rhymed with. You know, I was very isolated. Yeah. As far as like growing up, for whatever reason, you know, it's an experience. It's an experience, just like being, you know, with a big family. That's a different experience. You know what I mean? Not one is good or bad. It's just like, yo, for me, it was just a lot of isolation. Even my sister, I have an older sister who's like 7 years older than me. We're not even close because it's like she's 7 years older. We have nothing in common. We're like two different people. I was raised as an only kid, pretty much, you know.
It's kind of like Kobe, man. Kobe was very isolated, but that ended up being kind of his, like, you know, I've noticed that he's always kind of dealt with that isolationism throughout his career.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And it's funny you mentioned Kobe, because me and Kobe were the same age, are the same age. You know, rest in peace, Kobe. But I found out, because he's 19 going into the NBA. I'm like, you know, I'm putting out Volume by Design. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there were like little parallels I would see. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, God bless him. You know, he's dead now. But yeah, it's like just seeing even a life through that lens. Wow, this man lived a great life. You know, and this is not to go off topic, but yeah, we're losing a lot of legends early. You know what I'm saying? Like young dudes are dying off. I'm 46. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. You know what I'm saying? like, so yeah, it's like, oh, my health, you know, I'm better at eating and taking care of my health. You know what I'm saying? But this is like the age, you know, Sean Price, I think he was 44. You know what I'm saying? There's a Saphir who, Chino XL, and sometimes just the mental place you're at. You know what I'm saying? What type of shit are dudes going through? But see, and I'm gonna be real. It's because I don't compromise. I don't got them problems. You know, once you compromise, you bend and then you break, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and this is the market we were in. You know, a lot like the underground market. The money was scarce. It was tight. It's not a good lifestyle if you can't get rich off. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that kind of dashed a lot of our dreams, bro, because, you know, we grew up seeing Rakim and, you know, the big rope chains, and, you know, now, like, it's all dried up by the time we get, you know what I mean? Like, I even heard a Rock from Helter Skelter. He's like, I didn't move my mom out the projects money. You know what I'm saying? But I got some, and I'm like, God damn, Helter Skelter? You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying I thought dudes were millionaires, but I'm like, yo, like, you know, even like, you like, okay, what's that?
No, just, I mean, they have enough like prestige in the game, you would think, you know.
Right, yeah. So, you know, if he's like, damn, you know, what am I like? You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine me, how I feel. But like I said, you know, mentally, I feel like I'm in the best place ever. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of dudes, they get down on themselves if things don't be going right for them. You know what I mean? Like, even, I'm going to be real. And, you know, I joked on it back then, but the DJ of Jedi Mind Tricks, you know, I think he did like he wanted to kill himself at one point. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like,
Stoop?
No, this is the DJ Question. think.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm familiar with DJ Cool.
Yeah, like so dudes have, it's a rough life. And Stoop, he's another, what I mean? I don't know what zone he's in, but he's just these like weird personalities, bro. But
Would you
yeah,
mind?
it's like,
Would you mind just talking a bit about your thoughts about Stoop? Because he's kind of like I don't want to say like he's just kind of like this person that just seems a little bit mysterious. And so I don't know a whole lot about him. I loved his beats. His beats were like at the time when you guys were doing Violent by Design. I put him as like one of the top like beat makers, in underground hip hop. But can you just, talk a little bit about Stoop, just from your experience and working with him and just being around?
yes, yes, because this is a dude that I've known since I'm probably like 15 years old. Well, yeah, the first 14, 15 years old. He's been the same way. I would say he was a little bit more outgoing when I was younger, but I'm gonna be real with you. This is a dude who's 9 years older. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, so there's a difference there.
he's, yeah, he's 55 right now. But back then, at 14, this is a 23-year-old dude. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like hanging out with 14-year-olds. Violent by Design. This is a 30-year-old man hanging out. Well, this is maybe a 29-year-old hanging out with 19-year-old kids. You know what I'm saying? So that alone, you know what I mean, is a little off.
Yeah.
That was off right there. I'm a kid. I'm a little naive to, you know what I'm saying? Like, so mind you, why they have a stranglehold on all of the business. They're way older than me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, so he's always been a recluse. I can't say that, I have seen him around a girl. Once I did see him with a girl, you know what I mean? That I assumed was his girlfriend, didn't seem very affectionate with her. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't like what I would consider a masculine, you know, relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's just, like he never really came across as a very masculine man. If you pick up, you know what I mean, what I'm put, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So what I mean, like,
Well, I saw something where there was I don't know where, but I saw something online where he had said he had a picture of a dude or something. You thought was a little weird, you know.
yes,
I hate to put it out there like that as well, or put that in the air, but to your point, I think I know what you're saying. It's just something you noticed.
yes, and hey, live your life. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But I think he may have had like his own little hangups about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was very, very secretive, very private. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I've only seen him with this one girl. I've seen him with dudes that I thought were weird. You know what I mean? And so this is my perspective on this dude. He's very, very closed off, very much of a recluse. No weird personality. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a see, they don't think I remember this shit. But so like even with Ben, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be real. So there were times where I questioned if who they were around me was who they were in private. There was a summer. This is I don't know when this is. This is like either before. This is sometime before Violent Fighters.
Okay. Okay.
But this is like, yeah, this is before college. Stoop invites me down to the shore. They have a house in Sea Isle or something. Now, you know, when I'm around them, we're hoodies, Nikes, what I'm saying, jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is, I'm thinking this is who they are. Bro, I get to now they may not remember that I remember this story, but I remember this very distinctly. The Stoop drove me all the way down to fucking the shore. This so where we like, just to put it in perspective, this is like 2 hour drive.
Okay.
Stoop decides he wants to drive me 2 hours to the shore of, near Atlantic City in New Jersey. This is, yeah, near the beaches. So, not much conversation in the car, but we pull up. I see Vin. Now Vin doesn't even come, yo, what up? Vin doesn't do none of that. He sees me like he's pissed. He's wearing, I'm gonna be real, he's wearing like a like just like a t-shirt, some shorts, and like some like sneakers like that looked like he just looked like it wasn't like hip hop attire, I would say.
Okay.
It just looked like he had a whole chain, like a whole different wardrobe.
Okay.
And I'm like, he's drinking, and for some reason, like I wasn't invited to this party. And like Stoop literally had to drive. Stoop drives all the way there. They tell him I'm not something's with something. And like he has to drive me all the way back. And I'm just like, what? That was weird. What the hell was that?
Yeah.
Bro. So they may not remember that I remember. You know what I'm saying? And so like just like where you got that speaker back there.
Yeah.
There was a picture, a framed picture of a dude, standing up, just standing up, posed, and he had like some beads on him. Now, there's no pictures of anybody else in your room. You don't tell nobody who this dude is. I'm assuming dude is dead or something. But even your dead homie, it's like, you give a little story. You know what I'm saying? Like you tell people, yo, this my man's. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but no story, no whatsoever. So I'm like, that was weird. He just gonna leave it like he just got a picture of a dude in his room. Not gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always thought that was weird. Now, moving on. I had my I thought dudes were questionable. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, now if I think Stoop is weird, Vin, the nosiest dude I've ever met in my life, of course he knows. You know what I'm saying? Of course he knows. But then I'm thinking, not only does he know, because Vin, the huge anti-faggot, you know what I mean? Anti-homosexual. This is the dude, right? You know what I'm saying? And I always thought that was weird, dude. Why does he hate faggots so much? You know what I'm saying? Well, not even, and excuse me, I didn't mean that, you know what I mean? But like, this is him. You know what I'm saying? This is him. Like this hatred all of a sudden.
I'll probably beep out the word itself. So,
what's that?
Probably just beep out the word itself.
Right.
So doesn't get flagged on YouTube and stuff.
Right. Yes, and I apologize, bro.
Yeah, you get you.
But
yeah, what about as you're doing that? What about musically? Because obviously Stoop was talented when it came to beats and sampling and digging. I'm sure. What do you remember? Do you remember seeing him doing all that stuff, or did he do that in private or something?
Yeah, he did a lot of it in private. I know he was like a digger. He, like I said, he make dope beats. I'm not knocking the beats at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, like but I never really saw the process. I would just see tons of records, crates. You know what I'm saying? I know, he's not even. I know they thought they were gonna spin it like he was Hispanic, but I've seen his parents. His dad is white. His mom is like Indian, like from India. And like I think because he was always using that beat nuts, and not saying he's copying, but once we started throwing daggers at each other, I'm like, well, Stoop is pretty much less beat nuts and Mubs. You know what I mean? Like if you listen to beat nuts and Mubs, you could say like Stoop got this is where Stoop's influence come from. You know what I'm saying? So I pegged him on that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, as far as like the process, I've never seen him just make a beat ever.
Yeah, I was always kind of curious about that because I felt like the instrumentals, at least that were coming through, that you guys were spitting these dope flows on. I mean, that was also part of the magic, and I have to give credit to that because that plus your guys' lyrics, which was like peak, you guys just like, whoosh, you know, uh, that was all together just what made it really, I feel like, made it really stand out.
Yes, it was
It
a
took,
chemistry.
yeah, it took all that.
It would see I and that when you can't mess with the chemistry. This is why I thought I was like an integral piece, and I
Yeah.
was an integral piece.
Yeah, no,
But
you
it's
were.
like they thought they could fuck with the chemistry and everything would be fine. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, hey, so there's fans. They still got fans, diehard fans. Even without. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I got my fans too, though. You know what I'm saying? I got mine too. You know what I mean? And
It's like
but
together, you can only think like, had they not had, I guess from what you're telling me, had they not kind of in a sense, kind of like almost pushed you out in a sense by what you're describing. But I mean, imagine together, continuing that, man, that
yeah,
that
yeah.
yeah, man. But nonetheless, man, you still did it. Nonetheless, even on your own solo, man. And
Thank you, brother.
and that's what's really special. Um, I seen these like online I don't know who it was. I think it was uh I know there were some different things that were going on. Peace to you first of all, G, because I
Thank
know
you,
you
brother.
had some beef too. You had some beef with Diabolic. I know you did.
Yes,
But you guys somehow, I don't even know, this is so crazy to me. You guys somehow linked through, I don't know if it was somebody like through social media that did a live stream. Somehow you guys ended up kind of working it out
yes,
on a live stream. And at the end of it,
yes.
you guys were at least like, all right, left on a good note, I would say.
Because that piece of diabolic. I got no problem. I don't
Yeah.
even care.
Was a
But
rough, it was a rough like 2 or so hours because it wasn't easy. You guys had real beef, you guys make diss tracks and everything. So I imagine that's kind of hard to try to work something out with, especially when you guys have music out there dissing each other. So
yes,
yeah, but
yes. So yes, the diabolic thing was solved rather quick because it was based off misinformation. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like there was a dude, Jack Progresso or Jack Tripper.
Mhm.
He instigated, like he told Diabolic a bunch of lies about me. Diabolic, he called his big brother on me. Diabolic came defending his brother, I mean, his
Yeah, 'cause
friend.
the way
And
he's seeing it as, oh, almost like, oh, he's getting bullied. That's the way his perspective of it. So not understanding probably what's really happening, and it just all kind of got mixed up, it seems.
yes, yes. And so yeah, like, what I mean? Me and well, we haven't met face to face since the diss tracks and all that, but me and Diabolic, me and his boy from Dead Rabbits, Nightwalker. We every time we see each other, it was cool. We are cool. I don't, what I mean? Like, don't
Oh,
play
it's
dumb with
dope.
me, like because
Oh,
people are telling you stupid shit. Like, we're cool, bro. Like, what I mean? Don't act like there's this thing because you're hearing back stories. Whenever people have met me in person, it's always been cool. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's like so yeah, now you're hearing some rumors or me and Jack, we had some an argument and now it spills over into you. I'm like, oh wow. Well, one, Jack can't fight his own battles, and two, it's like with that whole one thing I do want to say about that whole diss with him, knowing that it was what it was. I struck first, but I tried to keep it like on some lyrical shit because he prides himself as a lyricist.
Yeah.
He's talking about like so that's what you hear in my track. When in his track, he's talking about moms, he's calling me gay, like just
Or picking
making
up
up
words.
outlandish. What's
Yeah.
up?
No, just making it more personal, and then that only
Yeah,
just makes it. It could have made you go off even more, you know. So
right. Yeah, he's saying I beat women. You know, like he just took it to a whole level. I'm like, bro, I thought this was like a lyrical, you know what I mean? But he just wanted to go into, and he's just picking up a rumor. He had a
yeah,
whole bunch of people call him with ammunition on, you know what I'm saying? Which wasn't even true. I pride myself in that. I'm so thorough. You got to go to lying and make exaggerations to
yeah.
really get it. You know what I mean? But like I said, me and Diabolic, cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like I never really had a problem with Dude. Even the diss track, I think I won that round. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like, I whoever you think won. You know what I mean?
I
I'm
haven't actually heard either of them, so I'm still like looking
oh,
forward to actually.
wow.
Yeah, I haven't
Oh
heard.
yes, yes. Oh wow. Okay, okay. Maybe
I just know
hopefully I
of
haven't.
it. I know about it because I saw the exchange that you guys had online, but I didn't know of the tracks, and I didn't hear any of them yet. So,
Oh wow. Yes, yes, yes.
but
Okay.
it's kind
Yeah.
of cool now because now we get to see a Just Allah diss or a what you call it, like a battle. You know, it's always kind of cool to still have that
Yes.
in the catalog still. You know,
Yes, yes, because I've never this then or then on a track.
yeah,
They've thrown plenty of subliminals at me, or maybe even direct shots that I was just like, that's so corny and weak. I'm not even gonna respond to it. But with Diabolic, you know what I'm saying? It was like, um, I'm gonna try, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna really show you who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to go in this chamber with me. You know what I mean? Like, but like I said, I thought he just took the low blow route versus actually like lyrical competitiveness.
yeah. Speaking of like beefs and stuff like that, what are your thoughts about like, you know what's going on in mainstream with like Kendrick and Drake? You know, I'm curious to hear your perspective of like how you see it from your angle.
Wow. It was kind of refreshing to see the industry, giant who's got the machine behind
Crazy,
them get taken down. You know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
Yeah,
What I will say, I am, I'm a, I was rooting for Kendrick. Like I fuck with him, but I'm not familiar with his catalog. I'm not I didn't rush to hear the newer stuff. Even if they're not like us. I like it. It grew on me. You know what I mean? If you were like, yo, this is gonna be the biggest diss track ever. When I first heard it, I wouldn't, huh? But it did, I'm not in tune with the people like that. You know what I mean? Like they know what the people want to fuck. It's a new era. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, so I couldn't have picked it. Like when you throw that beat on for me, I'm like, this is gonna kill Drake. I'm like, I'm not okay. But boom, bro, I've never seen such a dominantly like
Yeah.
he destroyed him with like he destroyed Drake. Drake is filing lawsuits. So I'm like, yo, it was good to see Drake because I never liked Drake, even though Drake, I would like um the young kids put me onto some of his like I would some of his songs I think are a little suspect, you know what I mean? But there's some beats I'm like, okay, I could rock with this, but overall, no, he's not my and he don't even write his own stuff sometimes. It's like I can't, you're not my type of MC, you know what I'm saying? But Kendrick is more along the lines of if I had a West Coast ear, maybe I would fuck with him a lot more. But I've always had an East Coast biased ear for whatever reason, But West Coast, like I've always fucked with Souls of Mischief, Far Side. But these are more East Coast sounding, you know what
Hey,
I'm saying? Like, but yeah, but I always Alcoholics even, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like I've
awesome,
always
man. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another dope group, man. It's cool. It's cool to hear you like mentioning all these because it's just cool to hear your perspective of all that. I'm curious on your thoughts about even like somebody like J. Cole. Like J. Cole, he ended up bowing out of the whole entire thing. What were your thoughts about bowing out? Like, did you respect the way he did it, or what are your thoughts about that?
Bro, no, nah. You know what I mean? Somebody comes at you, somebody challenges you to a fight, you gotta fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you scared to lose? You know what I'm saying? It's like you, as rappers, you automatically think you're the best. I think I'm the best. You put me against any of them, like I'm coming out swinging. What? Like, you know
Crazy.
what I mean? Like, so yeah, I think that was kind of this is the new age. This is the new age. You know, you can get away with ducking a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, yeah, I thought that was kind of corny on his part, but I'm gonna be real with you. You know, I'm not a J. Cole fan either. He probably like J. Cole. I'm gonna be real, and I know he's regarded as like, from our generation, like, I mean, one of the ones we should be checking for. But I'm gonna be real. I couldn't even distinguish J. Cole's voice. If you played me like a rare J. Cole song right now, I couldn't tell you that's J. Cole. Definitive. I don't know him. I don't know his body of work or any of his music.
Okay. What other artists do you like, are you like kind of a fan of?
Oh man, I'm always the underground. I'm always into the underground. Even my catalog. I still listen to the Group Home album. Cool G Rap. The newer cats, bro. Since Doom is still one of my biggest influence. I don't really like. It was like a weird like
You know
after
what's
probably
crazy
two.
that you brought up Doom? When Doom was out in the 2000s releasing music, I felt like he was like overlooked a lot. Is that me or do you feel the same way? Because like now I feel like
Yeah.
everybody F's with them, but at the time I feel like everybody was kind of like whatever about him.
Right. Yeah, I definitely because it Doom grew not grew on me. It was just like a switch went on. Like you know, he like and it was a line where he just says like, "How about the Yankees?" You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm realizing he's just throwing cliche lines into his rhymes, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's fucking dope." You know what I mean? Like, and it's been done before plenty of times, but like the way he introduced it, his whole style, like, and so yeah, once that happened, I was very much into Operation Doomsday and Mad Villainy. Those were my albums, and like I've always been a huge Doom fan, but yeah, like newer artists after probably like 2000, like I can name the latest ones. They're all older than me. I've never really gravitated to anybody, younger really like that.
Yeah, yeah. There are some dope ones, and I will say like at first when mumble rap was kind of more prevalent, the future felt grim a little bit, but I feel like now I feel like things are kind of coming back to lyricism, and
Yes.
I feel like some of the newer ones even like Jid is one that I feel like it will be the future and is a lyricist, and I feel like that dude.
JID. Yes. Yeah.
I feel
I thought it
like
was JID,
yeah,
but
I'm not
yes.
sure. I think it was either way. Yeah, I feel like he for sure is going to be
Yeah.
one of the names that we'll hear about more.
Yes.
But it's kind of crazy we were bringing up Kendrick because Kendrick is a West Coast guy, and for a long time West Coast had a fallout. Ever since Biggie and Pac passed away. How did their passing influence you, or did it influence you, Biggie and Pac when they passed?
So yeah, like this is me in college. Pac died like the first week of maybe like the first couple weeks and me being in college. And so yeah, but this is like I said, I'm not really a Tupac fan at
Yeah,
this time. You know what I mean? I'm not really a Biggie fan, like I didn't hear Ready to Die. You know what I mean? Like I've heard every song on it before I just actually listened to like the full complete album back to back. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was just like, oh wow, like the mainstream man, like this is real. You know what I'm saying? Like they brought like a real element. Like Biggie was 24, bro. I'm 46 right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
God damn. You know what I mean? Like, so you like so young, man. You know, that's being older. I would just reflect on life that goes so young. You know, I think Tupac's 26. And
Yeah.
these men, you know, they accomplished so much in that short span of time. But yeah, so it hits me more in retrospect than it did. You know, I look at Tupac more as a revolutionary now
Can you
than I
imagine that
did
dude
back then.
now? Can you imagine my bad. Can you imagine Pac now? Like I feel like that dude now, had Pac been around now today, like that fool would be, man, so
The
revolutionary.
night sister. Yes, yes, yes. You
He'd be
would,
so
yes.
revolutionary if Pac was around now.
Oh yes, yes. Because he is another one, you know. He was about getting money, but I think he understood the music business and you know, like he was uncompromised. You know what I'm saying? Like in how he felt. You know, he was playing a gangster and a revolutionary at the same time. And that you can't dabble in both worlds like that.
Yeah.
But you know, like I respect him because he just stood on who he was. You know what I'm saying? He was old, like uncompromising as far as that goes. You know, his mom was a Sada Shakur. You know what I mean? She was a Black Panther. So he comes from that upbringing, that revolutionary background. So yeah, like when he passed, it didn't hit as much like back then. You know, honestly, back then he was marketed like a sex symbol. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't really like the dude, like, you know what I mean? Dudes like me wasn't really checking. But, you know, and now he's looked at as a revolutionary. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't really didn't really like get into Ready to Die, because I felt like Ready to Die, even though it was like mainstream, it felt like it had a lot of the underground sort of sound in it. Um,
Yes.
so I'm like surprised
Yes.
you really like weren't really like on that.
No, you no, unbelievable. You know, the track with Method Man, the
Yeah.
what, you know, even Party and Bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, no, I fucked with it. You know, there were some tracks that I fucked with. You know what I mean? But it was Puffy. You know what I'm saying? It was more of you know him being affiliated with that more
Yeah.
than it. Because, bro, when Fred Mac came, Flavor in Your Ear, that was my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was fucking with them, but then it was like, you know, like I really, you know, the juicy type of, you know, that was like, this is like a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you.
Mm.
It's cool. It's cool how you stay true to like that underground sound, because at that time, not maybe some weren't there, but it's kind of like one of those things. Like at that time, it was really there was a separation in hip hop between like this underground movement versus the mainstream shiny suits movement. And I think you're definitely a part of the history of this because of Jedi Mind Tricks, and at the time that you guys came out, and being in a way sort of like revolutionists yourself, um,
Yes.
which is really cool. Um, that you stay true to that sound. Um,
Yes.
yeah, so I think it's pretty dope because you're like forever kind of cemented in that history, you know?
Yes. Oh, you know, and this is me, you know, just being a lover and a fan of hip hop myself, you know, even if it's that little piece, I'm just like, oh, Just Allah from Violent by Design. Bam. Hey, that's all I need. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
That's
in
a
the
big deal.
books.
Yeah.
So in the books, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
Like
like having
the
the
movie
Illmatic or something, that's it's yeah, you know what I mean?
for me, like it means this is what like this and these were one of the last underground things to pop off, you know. at this time, Doom is popping off. You know what I mean? And there's some other underground groups that were releasing stuff, but it's like, man, like, I'm in the books with them. You know what I mean? Like I'm a part of this. I'm a contributor. It like I would never trade that for the world. I would, even with all that I've been through, all the drama, I wouldn't trade one beef. Put me as long as I'm in that book. That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sean P. I actually want to ask you if you have any experiences with him or have worked with him, because I always hear about his name a lot, and just curious, your experience with him.
yo, Sean P, man. Always loved Sean P, man. Always much love to Sean P. So I am the one that actually got the Blood Runs Cold
Really?
verse. Yes, yes. So and it was just a random, very random, but I don't look at anything as like I said, even this album, my in dealings with Jedi Mind tricks, I look at it all as fate. You know what I mean? Like everything is destiny. You know what I'm saying? So this is probably 2000, maybe 99. Me and Vin, we go up to the Rocksteady in New York. I'm Megatron. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing a Decepticon logo T-shirt, right?
That's dope.
Sean P. He's like, yo, where'd you get that shirt? And automatically it clicks to me. All right, yeah, like the Decepticons is this like gang in New York. And I'm like, oh, does he think I'm like false flagging or something like out here? No, he has no clue who I am. He has no clue about I'm from Jus Allah from Jedi Mind tricks. Yeah. He's like, yo, where you get that shirt? I'm like, Hot Topics. He's like, yo, let me get your number. I'll give you my number and link up so we can get the shirt. Bro, me and Sean P start talking on the phone. You know what I'm saying? This is like one of my idols early on. Me and Sean P, we're conversating on the phone, talking about bullshit. You know what I mean? Like he'd have very funny stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he would just say, bro, I love Sean P to death. He was just, I'm just, he he would call me the ball Megatron. So like. So I don't know, I called one time. His lady answers. She's like, who's this? I'm like, oh, it's the boy Megatron. And so he's like, who's that? The boy Megatron. So I call him back and he's like, oh, yeah, my lady told me. She like, who's the boy Megatron? And he's like, he puts it together. Oh, he's Megatron, because we just building. So, but he used to just wild out and talk with me, tell me funny stories and shit like that. Like he was a very cool dude. And so then it's like, yo, ask him for a verse. So I'm at this time, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in a rap group. You know what I'm saying? Like, could you do a verse for me? And he's like, yeah, no problem. Doesn't even charge me. You know what I mean? Like he did that on the strength of me. Didn't even charge us. And dope. So, yeah, like Sean P definitely looked out. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, great guy. Rest in peace, Sean Price.
Yeah, that's sick, man. I love stories, dude. I love stories like that because that only makes the track even that much more sweeter. Because that track was already legendary.
Yeah.
And I remember him going, Sean P.
Yeah. Classic, man. And for him to be gone, bro, it's fucking damn. You know what I'm saying? Like he was another one, uncompromised. You know what I mean? These are the men that I looked up to. You know what I'm saying? Like MOP. You know what I mean? Probably one of my favorite groups. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, Helter Skelter. You know what I'm saying? Like that. This is Brownsville. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike Tyson is from Brownsville. This is a place that breeds. Two of my favorite voices in hip hop are Rock from Helter Skelter and Billy Dance, both from Brownsville for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something in the air there that breathes this, like, these boys is nasty.
Dope. I first in New Jersey, I didn't think there was a whole lot of artists, but when I thought about it and started kind of looking it up, preparing for this interview, I'm like, no, there was a lot of artists that came out of New Jersey, like
Yes, yes, yes,
Tifa, Naughty by Nature, Lauren Hill,
yes,
Redman,
yes,
Shaq.
yes, yes,
Shaq came out
yes, yes, yes.
like,
Lords
damn.
of the Underground. Yes, yes. The Crown Rulers.
Hill
You
Gang,
know, what's
Sugar
that?
Sugar Hill Gang, I think is another one.
Oh, really? I've never heard that, but Jersey, Philly. Jersey as New York. Yeah, that's probably closely connected. But yes, yeah, this is now Jersey is separated. This is North Jersey. All the regions you mentioned, they're not in New York, but they're maybe like an hour from New York. I'm
Okay.
from maybe 2 hours south of New York. You know what I'm saying? So if from this area specifically, it's pretty much just me, Crown Rulers. Crown Rulers, they had a song called "Kick the Ball"
Mm,
back in the day. This is early. This is a ball from Camden, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. And Poor Righteous Teachers from Trenton, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Trenton, yes, yes, yes. So, Jersey has, and I'm trying to think of anybody else, but yeah, Jersey, and I know a lot of, groups from Trenton as Funk Family, Be Fine, Tony D, you know what I mean? Like there was a Baby Sham, you know what I mean? Secret Squirrels, there were just to shout out the Trenton family, you know what I'm saying? Like they definitely did their thing, you know what I mean? Like as far as a movement, you know what I mean?
yeah. Oh, I mean, we brought it up earlier. We brought up the Illmatic album. I'm just curious about your thoughts about Illmatic. Where does that rank for you?
Oh wow, one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, you get and that album was just magic. You get a prodigy. I would call Nas like one of the best prodigies of music. Being so young and
Yeah,
so masterful. And there was that young like cleverness and intelligence. And that shine through that album. And then you give them the greatest producers. You give them Large Professor. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just these are geniuses. These are people that in their first time in the studio, they made classic albums. You know what I'm saying? You put all that together, you get Illmatic. Yeah, this is this is like, divine. You know what I'm saying?
that's the dopest description I've heard, dude, of it. Yeah, dude.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
it's so crazy how influential that album is to all of hip hop, and it's crazy because I feel like when it dropped, it's dropping during like a different era that maybe didn't really. I don't know if they were ready for it or what, but man, it changed so much when that.
Yeah.
Man,
Yes, 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 yeah, yes. The timeline for me, it's like Rakim is God of hip hop. He's the God. We think, oh shit, there's never going to be another Rakim. And I would say, Rakim has a 5 album, catalog, like 5 albums straight. He was the fucking man. You know what I mean? Like Nas, I would say two. I'm just because I liked Illmatic, and I think the next was I Am, or what's the one after Illmatic?
yeah, I mean, I can't remember the order too, because
Right, but
I think there was one before Stillmatic. I know
no,
Stillmatic
no, yeah,
after.
yeah, yeah. There was definitely some in betweens between, but I would only give Nas like as far as like holding it, like I'm giving him Illmatic. I'm giving him the one after that.
Yeah.
But I'm giving Rakim,
It was written was
flowers.
first. It was Illmatic. It was
It was
written.
written. It was yes. It was written. It was written was wild. You know what I mean? Like I give him that. And so yeah, but bro, it's just because Rakim had already changed the landscape so much, and then the god of the new landscape that Rakim had created, it was Nas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. It's dope. Um, I feel like hip hop has gone global, man. It's crazy how much it's grown from where it started, at least from, my knowledge of like looking online to see like kind of how it started and stuff. And it's crazy like how it's transcended so much throughout the world. And now you see different people in other countries rapping in their language, that which I think is just
Yeah.
so ill, like
Yeah.
it's really crazy how far it's like taken off. Um, I'm curious just to know, like, have you done shows like outside of the States, and like how were they receptive to you outside of the States?
Oh man, yes, yes. I've been everywhere. I've been to Europe, Australia, Canada. Um, I've been to yeah, and all in between the states. So, but yeah, it's like they're very, I think it's bigger outside of the states. Because we are like imports. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like when we go to new places, when I show up in Australia, when Jedi Mind Tricks show up in Australia, this is the one time we may even ever be there. You know what I mean? It gets crazy. You know what I'm saying? When we go to Europe, you know what I mean? Like there's just they're not so inundated by the mainstream, so their underground is like fueled. There's still a thriving underground scene there. You know what I mean? Like they know me over there. You know what I mean? Like it's like so yeah. It's we get mad love. I get love all over. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get to South Africa. Like that. I definitely want to go there. I know. No one from my peer group or
Isn't Yasin Bey somewhere over there?
oh yeah, I think he does live over there.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
heard that he did,
yeah,
does. A few other people too, but I know Yasin. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've heard that he lives down there somewhere.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What were your thoughts about that? The Black Star movement, like between him and Talib.
Oh man, I love them. I love Black Star. Um, that that I'm gonna be real. Talib, I never thought he was like that tight as an MC. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just be honest. But
Yeah.
I love him in 88 Keys. I think no, High Tech.
Oh yeah,
But 88 Keys is dope too.
yeah.
High Tech, oh my God, High Tech is fucking bananas.
That dude's
And
from Ohio, which is crazy.
yeah, but yeah, man. And so yeah, I love the Black Star Respiration with Common and Black Thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoo, like those try when they're both of them. Like I remember, yeah, Respiration, like because Black Thought on the remix. And like, but even the Common one, like I fuck with Common, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then the remix with Thought, what? I'm like, yo, like this is like this is like why I make hip hop, for to do those types of moments.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, dude. And it's crazy to like have those moments captured on wax. That's what's crazy. Because they're like
Yeah,
cemented forever. And it's like,
yeah, yeah,
if you
yeah.
fathom that, like beyond our lifetime of people going back and listening to this music, because the internet wasn't really around a whole lot, a whole long time here. So it's just going to be kind of crazy to even like think about that. And it's like hip hop
Yeah.
itself wasn't even a thing for a long time. So it's still pretty young, my opinion, like 50
Oh,
years.
of course, of
Yeah.
course. Yes, yes. It's excuse me, it's advancing outside of the mainstream.
Yeah.
You know, my man Vitality, he listens to a lot of foreign hip hop in different languages. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's like, this is better than, you know what I mean? Like shit from before. You know what I'm saying? Like the hip hop is still a living, thriving thing, you know, and he's always telling me that, and I believe him. Yeah, and I like a lot of the stuff he listens to as well. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah. So I know it's out there. You go to these little pockets of communities, these little small towns. You show up there with any type of hip hop, it's on. You know what I mean? Like they love that shit.
A question. You had answered a question on an interview about how you landed on your name, Just Allah, but I don't think I really kind of understood how you landed there. It didn't like. I guess I don't know. Maybe he could have spent more time on that. I feel like to really kind of understand how you actually landed there. Would you mind sharing with me and the audience, like, how did you come about that? Because I know you had different names before that, I believe, but then you landed
Yes.
on Just the Law, and you ended up staying with that one as your primary name or alias.
Yes, I mean, I love the Nation of the Gods and Earths. You know, I love Elijah Muhammad, Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I love Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Master Fard Muhammad. This is deeply ingrained in me. The love for these men and these people. So naturally, I met a God when I'm 19. The God put me on. You know what I'm saying? And you just kind of choose your name or your attribute. You just choose your own name. But that name was so significant to me. I've always brand Nubian. Like X Clan. I've always gravitated towards the pro black groups. I've always felt that. You know what I mean? Like I've always loved that. So when it was time, I'm like coming into the nation. I'm recording this album because that wasn't even my like. I got that name as as we're recording by design.
That's crazy.
Because yeah, it's like, and I like another just another fateful thing, timing, lining up, synchronization. You know what I'm saying? It's like uh I was so proud of that. You know what I mean? Like, yo, because you know to it was this is how I connect with my people. You know what I mean? Like I don't relate to the Christian shit. You get on some pro black, you get on some, you know what I mean? The black man is God. I have a connection to that. Like I something goes off and there's an automatic light bulb. I'm attracted to this. So yeah, if I could come under that banner, especially in hip hop, the two are synced with me. This is my two loves, you know what I mean? My spirituality and you know, my music. So bonding the two together was a no brainer. I'm like, I'm just law. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. So you were saying as you were writing it, that's how it kind of came about. Did somebody call you Jess?
No, no. So just is um short for justice. And so your name is taken from an alphabet, the supreme alphabet.
Mm,
And you kind of break down your name with your own definitions. Mine was just you save self a law, which was pretty much JUSS a law, which like a self savior, you know what I mean? Like, and this is what it's always been. I've been, no one's coming to save me besides me. I've always been the one, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the name was very fitting, you know what I mean? So just one, you know what I mean? Just a law. So yeah, that I chose that name. My birth name is James, and I don't think it was the deliberate, but yes, those are the first James J.A. Just a Law was the first two letters of the. This is just synchronization that I'm putting together. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's just like, yes, and yes. So I will always be Just a Law.
that's dope, man. That's dope. Yeah, I didn't know all that. So it just puts a whole different perspective now, and it makes sense, like you said. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, you know, it just goes along with everything. The catalog, like, everything you're about. It's dope, man. It's dope. Big fan. Uh,
Thank you so much, brother.
yeah, a big fan, man. Um, I was gonna ask you, writing process. When you write, do you well, how do you overcome the challenge of like, when you maybe might have like a roadblock or what they call writer's block? Like, how do you overcome that challenge for you?
Oh man, it's happened. So I just write through it. I've never not finished a rhyme because of writer's block. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you just write through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you question yourself. You go through. You know, the creative well is dry. You know what I'm saying? You go through, but it's like then you find something. It's like you just keep writing. You just there's no way like you just have to write through it. Sometimes there's no way around it. You just have to go through it.
For a guy like you that writes at a very high level lyrically, um, how do you filter anything out? Like, do you write rhymes and you're like, nope, that doesn't reach my bar of expectation of what I want to put out? Do you like then probably set it aside and like until it sounds right to you?
Yes, yes, yes. You for me, like the first verse, sometimes I'll nail it. And then the second verse, I may write that two or three times. You know what I mean? In the context of a song. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If there's like a theme or a topic, you know what I mean? Like, so yes, I'm very meticulous, like it for me, the song is already written. You know what I'm saying? So if it sounds off a little bit, I just got to make it sound right. You know what I'm saying? It's a sonic like thing, a connection. You know when it's right. That's why, yeah, certain lyricists, your shit's whack. You know that rhyme don't connect like it gotta connect. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that just kind of go with it because the audience doesn't know the difference. But as a writer, I know exactly.
Damn, dude. Um, Man, I had a question that would like flew on my mind right now. Um, what about production? Have you ever messed with production? Do you do like any messing around with that?
I've tried. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I've tried a little bit. I've even had a MPC at one point. It's a little difficult because it isn't my. It's not like like I would say. It's not my first. I'm only doing it to make songs. I don't have a love for production where I'm like, yeah, I want to make this beat for somebody. Like my production is strictly for beats that I would want to rap on. So, I'm not a producer. I'm taking shortcuts. I'm using drum kits, sample kits. I have no shame in using them. I'm not digging for samples. You know what I mean? Like I'm not doing. I'm finding a drum pattern that I can flow over, and a sample that I like, and I'm rhyming over. That's pretty much
Yeah.
basic.
I feel like it's changed too, like as far as the game and even sampling, there's a lot of like ramifications with sampling, and I feel like that's kind of changed where producers are kind of moving away from it. Um,
I
what about like future projects? Are you currently working on something like a new album or anything like that upcoming?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Oh yes. I am trying to get something together. I'm an artist. Even when I'm not working on something, I'm kind of working on something in the background. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be real. My life is a little hectic right now, so I am just kind of shuffling around. But still, life goes on. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I owe it to myself. I still have a love for this, genuine love. Life does get in the way of things, but this is who I am. I'm not going to let that affect, my time. This is what keeps me sane. This is who I identify as. So I'm always going to do this in some capacity, in some form. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so yeah, I would say yes. I'm working on something. definitely.
That's dope, man. Do you have any beats from Stu Bengas as well? I thought I read that, but I don't know if that's accurate or not.
No, no.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
as yeah, yeah, you know, I would say as far as anyone who's worked with Vin in the past, you know, and I'm gonna be real. This is pretty much just the white dudes, you know,
Yeah.
that have worked with him, and you know, maybe some of the black and Hispanic dudes too. But I know for a fact these dudes aren't working with me. You know, even though I don't know, I've like never really felt nothing personal about them. I couldn't even tell you I knew what Stu Bangers looked like. You know what I'm saying? Like I know this dude, but I couldn't tell you that I knew like you know him personally like that.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna bring up, I know you had this list too on Twitter, about your own experiences with a few, MCs in the game, in the underground, and I know like that was, something that was controversial to other people. I saw it as kind of to your point where you were kind of more or less calling it out, defending um, your people, culture, whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
And I know that you took some heat for that because people were like, I don't know, we're trying to narrate it in a different light. But can you speak a little bit about, just now kind of reflecting back on it and like your experiences? Do you feel like you did do the right thing as far as like, bringing that to light of what it was?
Yes, you know, as you know, as harsh as it may sound, you know, and I think getting to what I think you're hinting at, I did call a couple people racist. You know what I'm saying? Like that I felt, yes, were literally white supremacists. Now, to the varying degrees that they think that they are, you know, maybe they have a few black jokes, you know, maybe, you know, they're like, you know, slighting black people or just coming at me, you know, just targeting me specifically. And I'm the, you know, I'm the representative of all black people for them. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Yeah, nah, I can't let you get away with that. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to passive aggressively do it. You're not going to do it to my face. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I did call it out, you know, like main, specifically a necro. You know what I'm saying? Who openly uses the N word. He's a white dude from New York, you know, and you know when he's told, hey, that's not cool, you know, he doesn't. He's like, fuck you. I'm from New York. No, 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 no. You're gonna have to see me now. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're not playing that game. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna show some respect. There's you know history behind this word.
It's crazy because I recently had Necro on, and I know he explained it as because he was from New York and from Brooklyn and everything. And I still bleeped it out because he was referencing it to a lyric that Prodigy said because he was praising Prodigy as far as the way he was poetic but like grimy. So
Mhm.
I understand it the way, but I still bleeped it out because, I don't want it to come off the wrong way. And it wasn't something like I really approved of. But, that's pretty interesting that you bring it up because, yeah, it's something that I understand about like what you're saying about it, and it's not my place to like I think do an excellent job already communicating or articulating the reasons why you bring it up because of like the history and everything like that, and it's just not appropriate, but yeah, so it's just interesting that you brought up Necro.
Yeah. And you know, like I said, respectfully, there's no beef with dudes. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not headhunting dudes, but I'm if there's an issue, I gotta speak. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna hold my tongue, especially when I think people are, you know, deliberately or maybe just unintentionally,
Yeah.
you know, doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's this like, nah, I can't let you get away with this is where it stops, you know, like where I'm gonna be real, where I feel like other black underground rappers wouldn't stand on. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm gonna just let this fly because this is my homie. You know, nah. You know what I mean? I draw lines with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be like I said, my one best friend is white. You know, never said the word around me. We've never had to have the discussion because like it's like an understood thing, and I think it isn't. If you don't understand it, it's kind of very insensitive. You know what I'm saying? At the very least, it's just insensitive to just stand on it like, oh, I don't give a fuck what no one said. I'm gonna say it anyway. That's just insensitive. You know what I'm saying? It's like now you're okay. Now I'm gonna be insensitive.
Yeah. I hear you. But props, kudos to you for for kind of for standing your ground on it, because I know it might have not have been the easiest thing. You're talking about people who are in your circuit, and who you
Yes.
know in your worlds. So, you probably knew before you said it the type of heat you might get for saying it.
Yes. And see, I can't look myself in the mirror being a sellout,
Yeah.
being, the passive black person that, white people say the N word around me and I just duck and I don't say nothing. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be real. There are black people that do that. Me, I'm the total opposite. I mean, then they'll tell you, any white person that said the N word around me, I was punching them. You know what I'm saying? Like I swung on so many white dudes just for that word alone. You know what I mean? Like it didn't turn out to all. I mean, honestly, it never even turned into a fight. It was like, oh my, you hit them, and it's like, oh my bad. You know what I'm saying? Like then, it's like, what did I say? But like I stand on that word since eighth grade. You see, this is a word I stand with. You know what I mean? I'm not making it commonplace. You know what I mean? It's never going to be a thing where you could say it around me and I don't flinch. You know what I mean? It's like it just strikes a nerve with me.
Yeah. No, yeah, man, I totally understood it, man. Right away when you already pointed out, I was like, yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. Like it's not something that's complicated or hard to understand, you know.
Right.
But it's dope talking with you, Jess. I don't want to take up too much of your time more longer, but I respectfully, man, I thank you for all your music, all your contributions to hip hop. You mean so much for guys like me, people who are really have a passion for this and who love it so much. It's the reason why I started the podcast. It's all hip hop focused because I want to like, do my best to like shed light on a lot of like the dope MCs that, just sometimes might get overlooked or that just, the mainstream doesn't really pull them in, like Drink Champs or something. And it's like,
Right.
so it's like it's my underground version, I guess, of podcasting.
Yes. And I appreciate you, brother. And thank you so much for having me. And this is very much needed. This is an untapped resource, brother. I have, 30 years hip hop experience knowledge that, the mainstream just ignores. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's irrelevant to them, but it's interesting to us. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It means something to us,
right.
and we have to, that's what so it doesn't matter what they think about it. This is what we uphold. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm always going to carry that. And I appreciate brothers like yourself, what I'm saying, who are doing it out of the love and just to document the things that we have done in this culture.
Yeah, man. Well, much respect, Jus Allah. I appreciate your time again, brother, and hopefully we could keep in touch and maybe get you back on another time, down the road or
I'd
something.
love to, brother. I'd love to. Thank you so much, brother. And I appreciate this. I hope, you got all the questions you wanted from me,
Yeah.
at this time. Maybe we got an update on the next one. But yes, I thank you so much, brother.
All right, man. Peace, Jess. Take care, man.
Peace, family. You have a blessed day, family.
You too. All right, brother.
Thank you, sir.